Today on the channel, from the Marvel Legends Supervillains wave, Dormammu. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Marvel Legends Supervillain unboxing and review. And today, we've got a bad dude. They all are. They're all supervillains. But we got Dormammu. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Not really super familiar with the character. I do have the old school Build-A-Figure, which we will compare it to. And I know he's a Doctor Strange villain, and I'm not a huge Doctor Strange comic book reader back in the day on the old school yard, the old playground. But what I do know is go to Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description below for all your Marvel Legends needs and a whole lot more. So there you go. But we're talking Dormammu today. So like I said, I got that Build-A-Figure version right here. Okay, you guys know I love big figures. I love, demonic type characters like this. But this one does have its faults. A very weak ab crunch on this one that I do not like. It's very hard to pose. Out of all the Marvel Legends I've owned, this is one of the hardest figures to keep standing. I have to usually lean it in my display against the back of a wall because he will not stand on his own. He does not fit on a ringside collectible stand. So he's been a little bit of an issue for me. But I'm happy to get a new one. This is more of a comic book version of this character. And once again, I'm not super familiar. I'd be lying to say that I know all about Dormammu. I believe he's kind of like the devil without being the devil. Him and Mephisto, I'm not sure how that all works in, but put him to the side there for now. That's what I know. He's kind of like an evil demonic force, I believe. I'm sure it'll tell me on the back of this card. We'll read it here in a second. But first, we got to do it like we normally do it. We're going to take a look at the packaging, talk about it, unbox it, talk about it, see where it goes from here. So there it is, Marvel Legends series at the very top. Ages 4 and up. Z-New Build-A-Figure. Got Dormammu in there. Lots of extra hands going on in there, that's for sure. Supervillain wave down in green. I love that green background, Marvel. And then you got his name down there in the purple banner. So that's pretty cool. And then you got the glamour shot on the side. Same glamour shots on both sides on these characters. There you go, like so. Nothing at the top. Warnings at the bottom. Nobody cares about those warnings. I'm not even going to show it. And then there's the back. You got all the warnings down below. You got the rest of the line down there, all in line. You got Dormammu on the side, a little glamour shot. Marvel Legends at the top. And then, of course, the old blurb. And we got to read that blurb. We got to see what it tells us about him. Dormammu, a maniacal cosmic being with an unquenchable thirst for conquest. Dormammu uses extra-dimensional abilities to invade realms across all planes of existence. So, more of a magical character than the actual devil, it sounds like. So, I guess that's good. That's good for most of us out there. So, alright, let's get him out of the package. Let's see what all the fuss is about, as one guy said. There it is. See you later. Alright, there he is. A lot going on here. A lot going on in the old plastic prison. Let's pop him out. First, let's get this big arm out of here. Z-New. Look at that. Big old arm. Big old honking arm there. Big. Very cool. Pop that out. Hands aplenty. I guess, once again, we talked about it with the Red Skull. A brand new body mold. And this Dormammu is sharing that same body mold. So we've seen this before. We understand how it works with the Red Skull. See you later. Whoa, I got tape that's stuck to me. It's stuck. Get that off of there. There it is. Alright, we're already falling apart out of the package. He's got this band around his head that held this black thing in. Will I be able to get that back on? How does that fit? I think it goes around. Oh, it goes in. It locks in, so that's interesting. So he's got a little peg down below his chin there, and this black deer antler type antenna thing goes up here, and it just plugs in, but it's a little hard to get to. I don't know what I feel about that. It's all right. It looks, I don't know. I don't know. It's I guess a way to give kind of a color break in there. It just looks kind of strange to me. He's got big shoulder pads going on here, horns all over the place, spiky horns around the boot down here. That'll poke you. They're not very flexible. They're a little pokey and sharp. Not that it's going to cut you open, but interesting. He does got the old gun trigger hands. He's got articulation up or down. He's ready to fire his gun, but, you know, he doesn't come with a gun. He uses more of the magical, mystical effects. And we saw these same effects in the Doctor Doom figure, the retro one we showed with the Battlestar Doctor Doom. So we've seen these effects before in different colors. Kind of a fiery effect here, so we do like that. We got those heavy metal hands. We saw these with Red Skull as well. And then you got two-fisted hands. In case this guy wants to throw down, he wants to throw fists down, he might have to. Besides that, we've seen this body mold in the Red Skull. I did have some gripes with this, and I'm not a huge stickler for articulation. I love the double jointed elbows and knees. It does give you better posing power. It does look okay, but this one, it just looks weird. It's like there's a weird break. I can't really explain what I'm trying to say, but the elbows and the knees look weird on this kind of janitor jumpsuit going on here. It's just something is a bit off. And then you have these trigger hands on here. That's also a little strange as well. But I do love the fiery effects head. I like that. I like the look. I mean, this looks like a classic supervillain. This doesn't look like something modern age. This looks like something from, you know, the late 60s, 70s inspired. I'm guessing this is maybe his 70s type gear out there. That's at least what I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. I'm like, once again, I'm not super familiar with this character. A lot of these characters in this wave, I'm not a super expert on. I've definitely heard of him, but I'm by no means an expert. But he does fit on the ringside collectible stand very well. So that is good. I always say it. Use ringside collectible stands. Use discount code Kyle. Save 10%. I'm not just here pushing them. I'm also an owner. And I don't get anything for it. I don't get anything for pushing these stands. I just swear by them. I use them for a lot of my Legends, a lot of my Star Wars, my Ninja Turtles, and of course, all of my WWE wrestling figures. So they are the most versatile stand out there. And I want you guys to save your money. Spend your money on your figures, not your stands. I say it all the time. So make sure you're using the ringside stands for things like this. An okay figure. One I don't, I'm not absolutely in love with this one. I don't know. Do I like it better than this one? It's different versions of the same thing. This seems like here's the updated version. Here's the classic version is basically how I interpret it and I see it. I like the bigness of this figure. You guys know I love big figures. I love the heads on both of them. Articulation-wise, a little weird on this new body. But this one also I can't get to stand at all. So I'm just glad this isn't one of my favorite characters of all time because then I'd probably be really down in the dumps. It's a ancillary character for me that I know, so I'm not heartbroken that it's probably not my favorite, but both of them have a few issues here. Spoiler alert, he probably won't be at the top of my favorite list of this, maybe somewhere in the middle, but we'll see at the end of the week when I rank all these from best to worst and we build the Build-A-Figure, so stay tuned for that. But Dormammu, I think, is one people wanted. Like I said, a Doctor Strange villain. I think Doctor Strange Mania is going to be hitting us here in another year or so, I think, is when that Doctor Strange movie comes out. So I think there'll be a little bit more hype and maybe some more figures around that release and event and all that kind of stuff. So there it is, Dormammu. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this Marvel Legends Supervillains Wave unboxing. Make sure you leave your comments below. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And while you're here, make sure you follow me on social media on Twitter at SirPaul64, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and of course, Pro Wrestling Tees. Search Kyle Peterson, get your very own Kyle Peterson t-shirt. So there you go. For the whole Marvel Legends team and crew, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.